This is Jeremy Doku.
Doku. Oh, it's just got even better.
If you look at his style of play, he's one of the hardest players for defenders to go up against for me.
This is Haaland.
Doku comes, and Haaland!
When I was watching him today and the start he's made to this season and the impact he's made in the Premier League, and I think we're watching the greatest goal scorer to ever play in English football.
This is Doku again, and this is Haaland again.
I know when I play a ball to him that he will always make sure that it's or a goal or a great save, so I'm very happy for him.
When you think of Manchester City, you think of possession, control, midfield maestros. But lately, there's been a new dangerous weapon, Haaland plus Doku.
You're playing with, I would say, one of the best, if not the best finisher that I've seen, right? Especially at his age.
One is a goal machine, the other is a dribbler and creator. But together, they're giving defenses nightmares. The two complement each other so well, and their connection is still growing. One runs through everyone, the other turns every chance into a goal.
For example, you guys speak to each other, knowing where he wants the ball or not.
Yeah, on training sometimes, and most of the time, like after a game or after a situation, we say he comes to me or I come to him. I said like, yeah, be there, or he tells me I was there, something like that.
It's a partnership that could define City's next era. They represent two very different kinds of brilliance at Manchester City, yet together they capture everything that Pep wants his attacks to be: clinical, explosive, and unpredictable. Both players have quickly become key pieces in City's new evolved system, and while their partnership is still growing, the qualities they both bring to the pitch make City so fascinating to watch.
How good is it seeing back in form as well?
Erling is a machine. We know that he's going to score goals, but for me, great players are there at the bigger moments, and was a bigger moment in a derby. So you can always count on him.
Haaland is just a goal-scoring machine in its purest form. We're watching one of the greatest goal scorers ever. Ever since he broke onto the scene in Norway and then later at Red Bull Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund, he has made the toughest job in football, which is putting the ball in the back of the net, look effortless. Since arriving at City in 2022, he's completely rewritten Premier League record books. He scored an astonishing 36 goals in his debut season, setting the record for the most in a single campaign. And since then, he's just scored for fun. He's made us numb to scoring 20 plus, 25 plus goals a season. That kind of consistency is almost unheard of, especially after Messi and Ronaldo. And keep in mind, he's doing it in a team where so much of the play naturally goes through midfielders rather than the striker. He's also been a force in Europe, becoming the fastest player in history to reach 50 Champions League goals. The man did it in just 49 matches. Like, these are not just impressive numbers, they are historic. And what makes the Norwegian robot so much more dangerous is that he's adapted to Pep's way of playing. Now, you can make an argument that maybe Pep has adapted to Haaland, but either way, what he's doing is impressive. Because when he first joined, critics said that he didn't fit City's possession-heavy system. In fact, there's that infamous clip of Jamie Carragher literally saying that Haaland might have joined the wrong team.
He may have actually picked the wrong club to actually get the best out of him. You're laughing, but what I'm saying is,
if winning a treble with your new team in your first season is joining the wrong team, then maybe more people should join the wrong team. Now, despite the success, there was some criticism that he wasn't involved enough in the build-up.
And I think sometimes Haaland is making the same run. Whoever is on the ball is making that run. And I don't think sometimes it does help the team in terms of who is on the ball.
And it's true, he was never the kind of striker who would drop deep like a Harry Kane or Benzema. But over time, Haaland has improved his link-up play and understanding of City's patterns. He's much better at positioning himself now. He drags defenders out of place, and he opens up space for midfielders to attack.
Just me, from when I signed for Dortmund and now, it's such a big difference from so many things, from
Salzburg and everything.
How I think after games, how I think before games, how I motivate myself, how I speak to others. You get experience through people and of course on the pitch, and I totally agree with it. I can develop so much more.
I've won.
Even when he's not scoring, Just his mere presence alters how the opponents defend. When two center backs have to focus on Haaland, it gives players like Foden or Doku so much more room to operate. Now these contributions don't always show up in touches or passes, but they help the team greatly. Now speaking of Doku, that's Haaland's new partner in crime, and he's just a joy to watch. The Belgian winger offers something City have been missing, a true one-on-one dribbler who can stretch defenses and break through low blocks. Doku is the kind of player that you get excited when he gets the ball because you never quite know what's about to happen. He's so fast, great at making sharp changes in direction, and has this instinct to attack his fullback every chance he gets. At times, it feels like he's trying to take out the whole back line all by himself. Since joining from Rennes in 2023, he's been one of the Premier League's best dribblers, and frankly, a fan favorite at the Etihad.
Well, I think he's one of the most exciting wingers in the world right now, and that's a lot for a 21-year-old that's playing in League. And I think he's exactly what City need at the moment. You know, they've lost Mahrez, and over the years they've lost that directness. I think Pep did say last season that he wants more ball retention from his wide men. We've seen Grealish and Foden, we've seen Bernardo Silva play out wide as well. But with Doku, he's so direct, he's so electric, and his stats don't really complement the type of footballer he is.
Especially as he's become more and more efficient in the final third. Now he's actually getting you output, not just flying by people with a drop of the shoulder. Just like Haaland, Doku's journey at City is about how quickly he's evolved. At first he was all about energy and flair, but lacked composure in his decision making in the final third. He would beat 3 defenders only to overhit the final pass or shoot when a teammate was open. Pep, who is someone who demands precision, challenged Doku to slow down mentally without losing that raw explosiveness, and it's paid off. Doku has become more calculated. He knows when to drive inside, when to cross early, and when to recycle possession. His dribbling numbers remain elite. I mean, the guy regularly attempts 10 or more take-ons per game, but now he's combining that flair with end product.
We talked about him, the wingers being a bit more inside, and that's what he can bring to you. And now he only needs to work on his finishing, and it seems like that looks like it's on point at the moment.
In a Champions League match against Slovan Bratislava, Doku touched the ball 26 times inside the opposition's box. That's the most recorded in a game since data collection began in 2008. It's proof of how relentlessly he attacks space. Like Haaland, Doku's story is also one of resilience. During his time in France with Rennes, it was filled with setbacks, mostly due to injuries, but he kept working until he regained his rhythm. That perseverance is now visible in his confidence on the pitch.
Jeremy is like, he's so fearful every time you have the ball that if it turns over, this kid, he's just that. I've experienced it, like I've said before. I had him on my team and I knew how dangerous he was, but going against him, it's and then you add 1 or 2 profiles into that, what they have in abundance. We knew there was going to be difficult moments in that game.
And even Pep has praised publicly how much Doku has improved in that area. And it's no surprise that he's getting more goals and assisting more. So now, not only are his performances still entertaining, but he's a reliable player now. What's funny though is that if you ask people at Manchester City, they will tell you that Doku's relationship with Haaland is still being refined. The timing of their connection, that split-second coordination between Doku's dribbling and Haaland's runs isn't yet perfect. It's still improving. Because sometimes Doku might take one touch too many, meaning that Haaland's movement in the box goes unrewarded. But even so, when it does click, it's devastating. Look at City's 6-0 demolition of Ipswich. Doku assisted Haaland after going through everybody down on the left. When these two connect, it's unstoppable. Their chemistry actually thrives on the contrast in play. Doku's game is so unpredictable and improvisational. Meanwhile, Haaland is clinical and ruthlessly efficient. Doku does 100 body feints just to be one guy. Haaland might touch the ball twice the whole game, but it'll get you 2 goals. Doku thrives on that chaos, Haaland on control. But together they create that kind of balance that makes City far less predictable than in previous years. Defenders who double mark Haaland risk leaving Doku isolated on the wing, while those who focus on Doku open up lanes for Haaland to attack. It's a tactical headache that no manager has fully solved. Individually, both players are still evolving. Haaland is working to add more layers to his game, more passing, more involvement, without sacrificing his finishing. Doku is still learning how to convert his dribbling dominance into more goals and assists and more consistently. But even at this stage of their careers, they're already one of the most exciting duos, not just in the Premier League, but in the world of football. One scores because he's inevitable, the other creates because he's fearless. And that mix might be exactly what is needed to get City back to the top for years to come. There are so many moments where everything has come together on the pitch between these two guys. Several matches that perfectly capture what makes these guys' connections so special. Let's look at the Champions League against Napoli, a fixture that was really supposed to test City, because Conte's Napoli were in great form, KDB was balling out and it was his first return. Instead, the match became a showcase for the new attacking dynamic Pep Guardiola has built. Doku was electric down the left-hand side, constantly dragging Napoli's defenders out of shape, bothering them with his sharp changes of pace and direct dribbling. Haaland, meanwhile, was the perfect executioner. Early in the second half, Doku's drive inside helped create the opening for Haaland's first goal, a typical ruthless finish after timing his run between two defenders. Later in the game, Doku got on the score sheet himself, racing past his marker and curling one into the far corner. That 2-0 win felt more than just another Champions League win. It was a statement that City's attack now had multiple faces. They could control the tempo with patience or cut through teams with speed. Both Haaland and Doku scored, both terrorized Napoli's defense, and both showed just how devastating they can be when given even half a yard of space. Another standout moment came in the Manchester derby. United had actually managed to keep things tight in the first half, crowding the middle and trying to deny Haaland any clear service. But then Doku started to take over. Every time he picked up the ball, he went directly at Dalot, turning him inside out. But of course, it ended up being Luke Shaw who got the bulk of Doku's greatness, because Doku completely embarrassed him, crossed it into Phil Foden, who opened the scoring. Doku wasn't even done. He then set up Haaland for another goal. It was the kind of game that really summed up everything City fans love about Doku: the speed, the unpredictability, and the sense that something dangerous is about to happen every time he's in possession. It also once again showed Haaland's brilliance as a finisher, someone who only needs one touch to make the difference. What we're seeing from Haaland in terms of his achievements and the numbers he's putting up is insane. It's stats that put him in the same conversation as Ronaldo and Messi in terms of pure scoring consistency on the biggest stage. Now, while Haaland has dominated the headlines in the past few months, Pep actually himself pointed out that it's been City's wing play, particularly Doku's relentless running and dribbling, that have kept opening up lanes for their number 9 to exploit. So it wasn't just about Haaland scoring the goals. It was also about how City, with Doku providing width and speed, were able to create those moments over and over again. Because yes, against United, Haaland stole the headlines. He's the one that got a brace. But Doku could have easily been the man of the match. The Belgian has grown noticeably more dangerous as his confidence and understanding of City's system have improved. His touch map over the past few seasons tell the whole story. He's getting the ball up higher up the pitch, closer to goal, and taking more risks in the final third. He's no longer just a dribbler who beats defenders and then lays the ball off. He's now someone that can actually start plays and finish them himself too. It's that combination of him being relentless, constantly running at you, constantly trying to dribble, plus the fact that now he can put the ball in the back of the net, that makes him such a nightmare to defend against. When you look at these moments together, it shows you just how much the Haaland-Doku partnership has evolved. They went from just being exciting on paper to a genuine game-winning formula, because with the two of them you can unlock even the most organized defenses, and you're combining flair with efficiency. And since they complement each other so well, both players bring out the best in each other. And it doesn't matter whether it's a Champions League night or a derby at Old Trafford, when these two are on the same pitch and when things click, City are close to unstoppable. Defenses simply can't mark both effectively. It's just not possible. Now yes, I've spent the majority of this video glazing these guys, but I will remind you that the partnership isn't perfect yet. They're still understanding each other's timing and where to be positioned, because sometimes Doku beats his man late in the attack, and that can make it difficult for Haaland to predict where to be or where the ball will arrive. Sometimes Doku's final ball comes late, or Haaland hasn't done a good enough job of separating himself from the center back. Injuries can also slow down their chemistry. Last season, Doku missed large stretches with muscle problems, and Haaland himself has had ankle issues. Every time one of them is out, the natural rhythm disappears, and it has to be rebuilt from scratch again. Consistency is everything in an attacking partnership, so as long as the two of them are healthy, they're only going to get better and better. Then the last piece of the puzzle is fully adapting to Pep Guardiola's system, because City's structure is still famously meticulous. There's a heavy emphasis on patient build-up and positional control, although we are seeing Pep slowly move away from that. For a player like Haaland, that means he's not always involved early in the possession phases. He still sometimes goes several minutes without a touch. So City have to find the balance between control and explosiveness, and that's what Pep has been working towards, because when they get it right, the results are devastating. That combination of Doku's pace and Haaland's precision gives City a dimension that few teams can match, and frankly a layer player that this team hasn't had for years. They can still control a game through possession, but now they can strike with lightning speed when spaces open up. It's kind of a blend between old school and modern football. A classic winger feeding an unstoppable striker, but that striker has the physicality, pace, and intelligence of today's elite level. As their understanding grows, so will their dominance. And that will be easy to do because there's a lot of great players around this duo. To see just how good the new Man City team is, you have to check out this video right here.